Hyper short for Hyper, is a big Odyssey YouTuber with over 100,000 subscribers. He will post random shit like what if PS3 characters looked like furries, or whatever bullshit it was. Anyway, enough jokes. Recently, Hyper has fallen into controversy for lying about the YouTuber and a lot more, so let's get right into it. First of all, say hello to OdysseyTen. OdysseyTen was a new YouTuber known for the mega PS3 iceberg. He gathered over 1.1 million views and got them 10,000 subscribers. Odyssey was friends with Mars and Hyper. Now, Mars is basically Hyper's boyfriend. You don't need to know anything else. Anyway, Odyssey would ask Hyper and Mars if he got vent to them, cause Odyssey was low-key depressed at the time and experiencing mental health issues. And they agreed, but for some reason, Hyper felt like he wanted to get Odyssey into controversy, so he made a Google Doc explaining how Odyssey is grooming Mars. But here's the problem. The doc lacked a lot of evidence, and he only used this definition of grooming, but that definition sucked. Odyssey wasn't even grooming Mars. Hyper tried to blame Odyssey as suicide baiting in this message, but Odyssey said this has no intention to suicide baiting whatsoever. He meant that he would want to leave the internet, not life. Then Hyper said Odyssey acted really weirdly, but he had mental problems. Of course it can control you differently. And to get more evidence, Odyssey is supposed to be some weirdo. Mars deleted every message from the DMs, making it seem like Odyssey is constantly bothering Mars. Another stupid evidence Hyper made, Odyssey saying he hates his age, which he tries to make people think that is predatory behavior. Odyssey tried to say he hates his age cause he has done nothing in his life that year. Hyper then called out Odyssey for making Mars uncomfortable in voice calls, but there was not a single evidence as nobody documented the calls, so nobody knows what Odyssey truly acted then. Then Hyper said that Odyssey only relied on Mars, which was not true, as Odyssey had talked about his mental health to other people as well, not only Mars. And then at one point, Hyper said he and Mars don't want to interact with Odyssey anymore. Odyssey then left all the servers and made sure he couldn't talk to them by blocking them. And then Hyper started whining like a bitch that Odyssey is running away from his problems. But Hyper fucking said he and Mars don't want to interact this anymore. And then Hyper got Odyssey once again out for venting to his Discord server full of minors. At this time, this is something Odyssey feels actually good about. He feels sorry and is embarrassed at what he did. And Hyper considers all of this grooming, which is the most stupid, random and shitty thing to think. Odyssey was going through an anxiety and mental health problems. He did not try to groom anybody. Hyper is blaming his problems on Odyssey. And the definition Hyper used for grooming is really specific, and he probably went out of his mind to find this exact definition. Sorry. Then Hyper said that Odyssey's friends are stalking him and Mars, and Hyper blames that Odyssey is responsible for this, but he didn't make his friends do that at all, and it wasn't even stalking. They were trying to talk about the doc Hyper made. Hyper then lied to Odyssey and admitted that he is manipulating Mars, but Odyssey never admitted that at all. Then Hyper lied that Odyssey has never admitted that he is AROS, which is basically not feeling anything romantic towards anybody at all. Odyssey never expressed any feelings towards Mars other than just being friends. To conclude this, Hyper lied about everything and didn't show his fanbase any response Odyssey told. Hyper was trying to make Odyssey look like a groomer on purpose. After Odyssey's response video, Hyper said he doesn't want to interact with Odyssey at all and this controversy, and wants to move on. But this is not how to respond to lying about everything to a small creator with the sole purpose of making them seem like a bad person. Odyssey made an entire video regarding the controversy, where Hyper just posted a small community post. I know some people have forgiven Hyper, but I don't. Even if we ignore my beef with Hyper before the drama even started, I do not accept his apology and still see him as a bad person. Same with Mars. And this was pretty much everything that happened. Although there could be more to this drama after this video is posted. Anyways, fuck Hyper, fuck Mars, and praise Odyssey. Goodbye, and since this is a more serious video, there's not going to be a scream at the end. Sorry.